Hi everybody, my name is Megan Fielder and I am the author and creator behind Algebra Elevated, where I love to create digital and printable resources to save teachers time spent grading. So today I'm here to talk about my 5 back to school classroom must have items. And these are not your traditional items for all of them. Some of them might be a little obvious, but these items were tried and true in my classroom. I use them almost every single day, if not every day, and they just made my life so much easier. But they also took me a little bit to acquire for my classroom, and so it's kind of some less common must haves for my classroom. Unfortunately, I am not in my classroom right now, so I cannot show you exactly my versions of these, but I will put some pictures up to show you what I'm talking about, and everything will be linked down below because they are pretty easy to go find. So, item number 1. This one is probably a more common item, but for me, clipboards. I use clipboards almost every single day in my classroom in different reasons. Scavenger hunts are my number one favorite thing to do in the classroom at the moment, and so the clipboards made it so much easier. No more writing on people's backs or carrying their binder around or their Chromebook and then they drop it and it gets damaged. None of that. Also, if you're not a scavenger hunt person, totally fine. Another great use for clipboards is anytime that my absent students had to go in the hall or go somewhere to take their quiz or test, they always had a clipboard handy. Last couple of reasons, I use them to store important documents. So I had my seating charts on a set one clipboard so that they were easy to grab and I could find them in my piles of miscellaneous paperwork that I had to have handy. My emergency plans were in a clipboard hung up by my door, so that was super handy. My students had to sign out on a piece of paper. I kept it on the clipboard to keep it nice and organized. So I just had a ton of uses for these clipboards. And what I did is I ended up just buying I think it was a 30 pack. And so I had plenty for these different reasons while also having enough for my students as well. Second thing that I found super helpful that took me a little bit to find was golf pencils. So I had middle school students. They lose a lot of pencils, but I was happy to give them a pencil because they needed something to write with. They needed to still participate in what we were doing, but they spent so long at the pencil sharpener sharpening a brand new pencil that I just gave them that it was more disruptive to the classroom. Now, with a golf pencil, there are some that come with erasers, but they are almost always pre-sharpened, which was the best find. Also, I realized once I started giving out golf pencils, they somehow sometimes found their other pencil because they didn't want to use the little pencil that I had to offer. Additionally, they were pretty reasonably priced as long as they didn't come with an eraser. If you want your students to have an eraser, I found it much more financially helpful to just buy a bunch of golf pencils and then buy a jumbo pack of eraser tops separately because a lot of students didn't care, and then I could just hand out the pencil tops as needed. My third item that I found super helpful for my classroom was a set of dice. So I bought colorful dice. They were actually quite small. You might recommend some bigger dice or normal size dice. These were so handy when I wanted to have my students do some examples on the fly. I would give them a pair of dice and they would maybe roll for some numbers, or we'd roll for miscellaneous activity here or there to group people up, or it would be draw dice in whatever color that created your group for the day. Different things. I could use them all day long. I might even create a video of all the different ways I use dice in my classroom. But that aside, I did not realize how much I needed them or could use them until I had them. So I would recommend getting a set, having them handy. I think you'd be surprised how much you'd end up using them. Item number 4 is a file box, or it's basically like a plastic box that you can hang file folders in. And so this is what I hung and sorted and organized all of my printed resources. Some of these are ones that I laminated or I just printed them on cardstock so that they'd hold up a little bit better. These are really nice because it was a portable box, so it wasn't in a file cabinet stuck in my room. I could take it to my desk and organize it or look for an activity that I had coming up. So this portable box also had spots because they're just hanging folders where you could put that little tab at the top and designate what activity was in that slot. So I found that super helpful rather than just having my activities all over. I could easily find it. Last little tip for my file box is I actually color coded the folders. So everything for a certain unit or a certain course had the same color folder, and that just made finding what I was looking for so much faster. And last but not least, my favorite tool in my classroom was an acrylic sign holder. If you've been following me on Instagram, I showed you what my entry setup to my classroom is a while back now. And this acrylic sign holder is critical to a smooth start to my classroom. What I do is I put the acrylic sign right on my front table when the students walk in. Front side of my sign says pick up please, and the back side of my sign says something like nothing to pick up today. If it is flipped a certain way and there's a piece of paper there, they know that they need to grab that on their way in. And if it is flipped to the other side and there's nothing there, then they don't need to grab anything. Ideally, you don't necessarily have to have a sign to go with this. They might just look for a piece of paper. But I found because I was teaching multiple classes that it got a little confusing, so the sign really helped ease a lot of confusion. So just to recap, my 5 favorite things to have in my classroom that are quite random in a sense would be clipboards, golf pencils, dice, a file folder box, and an acrylic sign holder. A little bonus one, if you made it this far in the video, is I highly recommend getting an extra charger for whatever device you're bringing back and forth from school. It took me way too long to invest in this extra charger, but my goodness, it saved me so much anxiety, so I didn't have to worry about forgetting my charger either at home or at school. I could take my device home and not stress. Hope that helps you. I'd love to hear what random school item that you have bought for your classroom that you couldn't live without anymore. If you could let me know in the comments down below, that would be awesome. Please like, share, comment, anything to help my video out and help me out and help other teachers out, because that is my main goal here. And if you have any questions, let me know. I am on Instagram at Algebra Elevated, and I'd love to hear from you. So have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon.